up and welcome to my last cast. We're on a different river today. It was dark when we got here, so we didn't bother with the cameras to start with. We've got set up, plumbed it all up. It's not like the other river that we normally fish, where we're fishing in 20-30 foot of water. We're only fishing in probably 4 or 5 foot of water here. There's quite a lot of debris around the banks, but so far the riverbed seems relatively clean and sandy. We've got lamprey on everything, because I don't know if you can see, but there's a lot of willows in the edges, and it just stinks that there could be some chub in here as well. So double up. Don't know whether we're going to catch, but it looks nice and pikey. I've only fished this peg once, and that would be probably best part of 15-20 years ago, and I didn't have a fish. But hey, that's another thing. I mean, half these trees weren't here then. So we've come down, we're going to give it a bash, going to see what we can come up with. As I say, lamprey on everything. We've got Bob's here, who's the cameraman. He's one off this bush, one in the main current, and then I'm the same. My rods are here. I've got one just off the bush down to the left here. I don't know if you can see that on camera. And then the other one is, there's a load of willows and debris over the other side, and it's just in the current over there. As I say, it's about 5 footish, 3 footish under the banks here. It looks a very pikey peg, but then again, how often have we said that and ended up with nothing? Bob's has never caught on this river, so this is a bit of a challenge for him. See whether he can get his first one. He's fished it a few times, and I don't think you've even had a run, have you? Yeah. So it's a good river for me. I've had some good fish out of it, and we know that they're here, but not necessarily this stretch. As I say, it's 15-20 years ago when I last fished this bit. That you know, a lot changes over those years, but we'll see what we do. As I say, they're all out, they're all plumbed up, fishing our standard rigs, the big Pike floats, running leads. I've got the C clips in that we talked about that break, and then Bob's is running the same idea as well. So we're out, we're up and running. Let's see if we can't come up with something, and see if we can get Bob's off the mark on this river.
I'm getting a bite on Brent. Right, I'm just getting a bit of interest on mullet plots. I don't know if something's just running to the line. Just seen it twitching, it's definitely going. We'll give it a bit because we've got lamprey on.
Am I going to have to take the other rod out?
You might do. I'll give it a bit more time. It's not chomping it. I don't know if it's just sat on the bottom with it. It could be, we've got lamprey on, so it could be a chub.
No, we've gone off like a rocket, hasn't it?
And it's a bit of to call it now, isn't it? You know, I think it's probably just sat on the bottom with it in its mouth. I don't want to get a deep hook fish.
I'll get rid of this one once you're into it.
I think I'm going to strike on it.
You in?
Yeah. Must have been a micro one.
Got any teeth mark in it?
No.
No?
We get back in, it didn't feel it, did it?
No.
That's the thing with lamprey, it were twitching for quite a while, so I couldn't risk it being on bottom with it in its mouth. I think it's probably a small fish.
You thought that when you had that 23?
Yeah. It could have been, but sometimes you get big ones there, just mess about with it. We get back in there, it's a good sign. We haven't been here, we've only been here about half an hour. And that, to be honest, that's the first bite I've had on this river. We'll see if it comes back.
Definitely a fish. Yeah, there's like a brick area.
Yeah. Is that one out there going? Yeah. Yeah, I've got another bite on the one in the middle now.
Are you alright with that other rod?
Yeah, I'm not sure it's the pike, to be honest. It's like strange bites, yeah. But it is lamprey.
Is that you?
Yeah. The way you see this thing runs a bit, it looks like it's plucking at the bait.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm not sure what they are.
Strange, yeah.
I think I'm going to have to probably strike on it.
I think
They don't look like pike bites, to be honest, but we could be wrong.
It's not moving off, is it?
No. It's like it's plucking it. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Yeah. Right, something on it now. Yeah. I think it is probably a pike. I don't feel like a chub. I can feel it rocking its head.
Yeah,
It could...
you can see float shaking. Do you net it or
I think it could be a...
Yeah.
It's not a bad one.
Strange brown.
Yeah, and this is the first one I've had on here. And it's not a bad fish. Pulling a bit down the river. I have to keep it away from the snags.
Yeah, there's a bridge or door or something. It's got a good head on it. That's not a bad fish, mate.
And go it out, yeah. I just hope it's... Because it was a strange bite.
That same fish that you had.
Could be. It's off now.
Strong, isn't it?
Yeah. It was a very strange bite though. I don't think it wanted the bait. Just hoping...
It's got a good head on it.
Because I left it a while. Just hoping it's not... I can see the...
Yeah, no, I can see it's just in its mouth.
It's only just up this.
Yeah.
Can't really get other trees now. And this is... Yeah, we've got a branch stuck on the net now, so a bit of problem getting the net in. It's in the net now.
Oh, mate, that's
the first one I've caught on this river, and it's not a bad one.
Do you want me to get the scales on that?
Yeah. What we'll do is we'll weigh it before we unhook it with the net, and then take the weight off of that. So we're not messing about with it too much. Keep an eye on the others as we're doing it.
It's a nice fish. Look at that. It's a nice river pike, right?
We'll just check, see where the hooks are.
Hey?
Stalking camera. Yeah, I'll just check, see where the hooks are. We'll have to change his traces.
Trapped it.
Yeah.
Well fed, isn't it?
Yep. Just need to get it under control. You've got to be careful where the hooks are in this one. See, one's a bit... They're both close up. It's tensing up a bit now, so I think it's going to flake. That's one hook out. Just need it scissors the hooks.
Congrats on your first pike.
Yep. You see, when it flicked like that, it's took the hook somewhere.
It's at the top of its tail, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, as you can see, that's the first one out of this river. And it's a nice fish, probably about 15 pounds, maybe 16.
Yeah.
We did weigh it with the net, so we'll say after what size it was. It's a good fish, we'll get it back in. Put up a good scrap, that one.
Very, very tentative take, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I should go for it. Right, here we go. We've got an inquiry on this one. Let's see. Yeah.
We've got one on. A good bend in the rod.
Yeah, it feels reasonable, that. Oh, it's kicking well. Oh, this feels half decent.
We'll have to tell if it's the same one I caught. And it's heading to them trees now, I have to walk down here a bit.
I'm not going to get it past this rod, I don't think.
Putting I'm just going to have to do this other rod. I
Yeah.
think it's that one I caught, Brent.
Is it?
Like it had a tail, bit of tail missing.
Out of the trees.
It's heading straight to the trees all around it. Might not be the same one. If it's the same one, probably.
Well, we'll know with its tail. No, it's got a different tail.
Yeah, well, this has got a nick out of its top tail. Looks a nice, decent fish. Can't see much at trace.
Looks a reasonable fish.
It's probably bigger than the one I had. It's not bigger than the one I had, that Brent.
Is it?
Yeah. It'll be 18, 19 pound that.
Are we in?
Yeah. Oh, it's a monster, that one. Can't see trace. 20 pound that.
Do you think?
18, 19, it's a lot bigger than the one I had.
Should we weigh it first?
Yeah.
Well, there we go, people. That's a new PB for me, 21.3. So can't complain about that. Have we got a good picture there, have we, Bobs?
Yeah.
We had to take our time a little bit there because you pick it up on the camera. It's got such a huge head on it. It had actually wolfed that down quite a bit. So it took two of us to get it out. But that is a beautiful fish and a pleasure to catch. It's been ottered a little bit, but let's get her back in now. Let her rest. We got plenty of good footage there. Because I want to make sure I've got a still of that because it's a new PB for me. What an absolutely gorgeous beast. Whoa, that's shaking. 21.3, absolutely stunning fish, river fish. That'll be a fish and a half at some point. Fought well, rod that had been out there 5 hours, not moved it. Obviously when we were unhooking it, Bob shot down the bank and brought all the other rods in because we just had to spend a bit of time with it. Such a magnificent creature. Wanted to make sure we got the hooks out because due to the size of its head and also the fact that we were using lamprey, it's had wolfed one of the hooks into the top of its stomach. So it's always best at that point to be two of you so that you've got all the hands ready to do it. Just going to rest it for a bit. It's a big enough fish to have dealt with that because it would still have plenty of oxygen in its blood, and we owe it, you know, we owe the fish the respect to treat it correctly, make sure it goes back, you know, healthy and you know, ready for another day. But stunning fish, you know, coupled with Bob's first catch on this river. I can't complain, we've had two cracking fish. As I say, that's a PB for me, 21.3. So let her rest up, make sure she's all right and ready to go. It's another good reason for these big BFT nets, because it's pretty easy to just hang them in there and have loads of net to deal with it. Just move it around a bit, get a bit of oxygen in those lungs. There we go, that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. That is one stunning creature. Again, always a good reason if you're piking twos. You know, that was, we'd have probably managed it on our own, but it would have taken a few trips in and out to sort it. And you know, at the end of the day, we've had the privilege of catching such a beautiful creature. You want to give it the best respect that you can, and by having that extra pair of hands, it's enabled us to do so. What do you think, Bob? Do you think it's she's ready? Yeah. Just move her backwards and forwards a bit. Yeah. Trick to check with them is if they've got the fins rolled up along the sides, they're not ready to go. You want it when the fins are out and they're all, you know, ready to go. I mean, she's got her fins out, she's looking good. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think?
Yeah.
You can see that.
Go, that.
Yeah, superb. There you go, my beautiful creature. Wow. You see where Oscar's had the tail. Love to see that. Just as they swim off, it's going to have a bit of a sulk and just sit there, I think, for a while like they normally do.
Gone.
Stunning. Thank you, Mr. Bobbs.
Well done, Brent.
Well, peeps, what can I say? Red letter day for both of us. Bob's first bite and fish on here. I think, was it 15.4, was it?
Yeah, something like that.
Absolutely mint fish. As you've seen, I've just had a new PB, 21.3. Again, absolutely stunning creature. Been ottered. The tail fins had been chewed off a bit at, I don't know, probably a year ago or something. They were all healed up, etc. We did have a bit of a problem with it from the point of view of that a head that size and a throat that size and lamprey, there can be a nightmare bait because it literally just inhaled it. So again, a good reason to go with somebody else is, you know, it was a deep hooked pike. You need your forceps. I can't stress that enough. Forceps, pliers, whatever, but there needs to be that kind of length, because with a fish like that, a normal little pair of forceps like that, you'd have been putting your hand in its mouth, and that only ends one way. The other thing, and again, I can't stress it enough, is you need some long-handled bolt cutters, wire cutters, whatever you want to call them. The reason being is that we've had, since we've been fishing together and filming, I think we've had 2 or 3 deep hooked ones. Now every single one of those needed the points cutting off, because we're using semi-barbless with the bait flags on the barbed one. We know which one it is, but there's just no way you can get them out without cutting the points off. The stomachs, when you've got them deep hooked, you don't have to worry about them bleeding because they don't bleed. Obviously they're used to chomping perch and, you know, bones and spikes and that type of thing. So what you need to do is to get the hooks so that you can see the points exposed in the top of the stomach, and then cut them off. What then happens is it'll then come free and come out, and then you're laughing. But again, certainly if you're new to pike fishing, I can't stress enough, do not go pike fishing on your own if you don't know what you're doing, because it'll just end up with either you getting cut to ribbons or you're killing a decent fish. Go with somebody that knows what they're doing and they can show you the ropes. Or watch some of our vids. As I say, we go through everything. That was a prime example. Both me and Bob's, if we'd have been on our own, I'm pretty sure we would have got it sorted and out, but the less time you've got the fish out the water, the better. And again, if it's one of those things where it's deep hooked, just take your time. If it means you've got to take it back every few minutes and put it in the water, and you know it takes you an hour, it doesn't matter as long as you keep going back and you're putting the fish in the water and you're keeping it oxygenated. In that instance, because we both knew what we were doing, we've done it before. One of us does, you know, pulls the trace, the other one's cutting these off, etc. It just works like a well-oiled machine. So again, really, really important. Long forceps, cutters, they're probably the 2 most important pieces of kit that you need. We've got cutters in all shapes and sizes, we've got forceps and pliers in all shapes and sizes. Just depends where you're coming in from. And again, you know, all I can say is what an awesome day. We've only had 2 fish. The reason we've only had 2 fish is that, not being funny, with those 2 sort of cruising this area, there aren't going to be many jacks about, because any jack coming into the area is going down either one of those 2 throats. I don't think that they're resident in this area. I mean, that particular one that I had, the 21, that bait had been out there for you know, a good amount of time, and I think
6 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, 6 hours. So I think that one had actually been brought up from further down, down around the bend somewhere. But anyway, it came up and we did it. It's just such a buzz. Good, again, good job I had Bob's with me, because of my current health, I'd have struggled to get that one up the bank. But again, I don't go pike fishing at the moment without somebody with me for those reasons. So be prepared. you know, there's some cracking fish out there, and you know, just respect the pike. At the end of the day, you know, we've had the privilege of catching 2 stunning fish today, and you've got to look at it from that point of view. It's not just a case of ripping them to bits and putting them back. Take the right gear, respect the fish, look after them, and make sure that they're going back in fit and healthy. You know, you saw us resting that one up and making sure it was sorted. Once it's ready to go, let it go. It'll go and sulk. Probably won't feed for a week or so or whatever. It'll just go sit on the bottom and sulk. But you know, when we go, there'll be some of our baits going in as a thank you for it. And you know, there we go. So if you like what you see, subscribe, and look forward to seeing you next time. Woohoo! That's all I can say.
Right, welcome back to Last Cast. You join us today down on the marina. First time we've ever fished here. And there's the guy pike fishing over there, he's been here all morning, had a bite. It's going to be hard, it's been frozen overnight, it's defrosting a bit now. It's not a good sign when there's someone been here like 5-6 hours and had a bite. No, we're going to give it a go. We've got about 4 or 5 hours left. It's just an afternoon session this. So we've got baits in, we've got sprats and roach on and rudd. So let's see if we can get one. Right, I've just had just getting a bit of a knock on my float. Yeah, it's going. So I just hooked Tom. Yeah. Yeah, it's not too big. It's took the smell this one, I think. It's only a jack, but it's got plenty of energy. It's only just hooked. Oh, it's come off. Yeah, it was only about 6-7 pounds.
Yeah, it didn't look bad.
Right, I just lost that fish. It was probably about 7 or 8 pounds. Plenty of energy in it, but it only just hooked. I struck a bit early because I wasn't sure if it was sat on the bottom with it in its mouth. So I made the choice to strike early, and I maybe should have left it a few more seconds. But we know they're here now. It's been probably about 3 hours, and it's the first sign of a fish we've seen. They might come on now, so we've got a good chance of getting one. We'll just sit back and wait again. It's just a waiting game, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah.
Getting a run, Tom. Right, just getting another run now. Yeah, it's on this one. I haven't seen it yet. It feels like a decentish one. It's shaking its head now. It's not a bad one. Let's try to chuck these hooks. Got a big head. Not a bad one that. I didn't fight much. I'll just get all the unhooking stuff ready. Get the camera set up. Make sure it doesn't jump out, Tom. Lift it out and get around there. Got a big head. Right, I'll just get hooks out of this. It's not a right long fish, but it's pretty fat. Tom just got to keep an eye on. It's got a massive head. It's a bit abnormal, really. Got the line wrapped around itself. And the hook's just running its scissors there. And the line, the tracer's gone around the other side. It's got a big head, that. Probably about 14-15 pounds. Nice fish, you won't expect them that big here. Covered in leeches. and get it back in. Not a baby. Right, if you see, I just had that fish, started raining now. And Tom said it was a bit deformed on its head. I couldn't see it when I was holding it. I'll have a look on the camera when I get back, but it had a massive head. And we weighed it, it was 16 pounds on dot. Now I'm going to get the smelt, I've got the smelt back, so I'm going to get that out again. It was a different fish from the first one what I lost. It had a bit of an abnormal head. Oop, getting another run, Tom. Right, I'm just getting another on the same rod. It's took smelt again. You can't be the same one. It's come off. Yeah, it's come off again, this one. Well, it just hooked, could see it when it came up. It might come back. I'm just about to do an update. I just had that other one and just put it straight back out and another fish took it. And Tom's swapped over to smelt now, they seem to be wanting smelt. And we'll see if that makes a difference. Sometimes it's just changing baits what makes a difference. Right, we've got about 5 minutes left now. We're going to call it a day, I think. We had two runs what we've lost and that one fish. Had a bit of a deformed head. But, you know, it's the first time we've been here. We've only been here about 5 hours. It's not been bad. So I don't think I've got enough for a full video on this, so I'll probably put it on a bonus video. But thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.